Okay, so we're going to be back on track. Let's start from the beginning and we'll get faster and faster. Remember, programming, it's all about ones and zeros. We're just writing instructions. That's all a computer does is fetch and execute instructions. There are different levels of programming, machine languages, ones and zeros. Assembly language was the next step up, and then we have higher level languages. Memory is always important. A bit is 1 or 0, byte is 8 bits, and then we have kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, and terabytes. And there's two different types of programs generally. Compiled, which is C, C++, and Java, and then there's interpreted, HTML, JavaScript, and PHP. And that's what we're doing right now is interpreted languages, and it's good, quick way to get started. And just as a side note, JavaScript and Java are not related at all. Next, we write a program in an editor. We've been using Notepad, but it's just not good enough, and you're going to get your first assignment. Emacs is the most complex, and we're just not going to touch into that. Just know that as complex as what we'll be using is, it's not nearly as complex as Emacs. So we said we're going to write in an interpreted language, HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and we got commands that usually begin and end, and then it's really a document that's being displayed. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to say this is an HTML document, and then we're going to say here's the start of our code. We're going to have a head, which is where the title up in the title bar is, and then the body, and of course we close most things. Now we also talked about an anchor, and an anchor is a link. And we say that an anchor with this reference, hypertext reference, will, when I click on it, will take me to that link, and we've done that. Now we're going to learn a new tag. It's called an image tag, IMG, and obviously this is to show an image. Now, this is one of the cases where we don't need to close it up. Everything will be within the tag. Now, we also need to tell where is the image. So the source is the name of the file. So it looks like this, image source equals pic underscore bulb off dot gif. And if you don't spell it exactly, it of course won't show up. Also, location is important. Now we're going to have both our program or our HTML file and the image on the desktop. Since they're both in the same location, our code will look just like this. If the image was in a different location, which is very typical, we would have to tell it where that location was. All right, so let's look at a file and do this. Okay, so here we have an image, and we have this close mark, which again isn't required. And we have source. Now, you know, the mistake my son made first was he had source spelled out like that, and it can't be. It has to be source like this. And then he had JPEG, and of course nothing would show up. I'm going to save that and then open it up. Here we have what it looks like, and you can see that there's some sort of broken image here, so it couldn't find the file. Okay, so now remember this is a GIF. We'll save that now, refresh, and it shows up. Okay, and it just so happens that the file that we launched and that image are both in the same location. And that's so that I only had to say the name of the image. I didn't have to give it a long location of where that image is found. Okay, so now we are able to put images up. Now, this, we could give it the full length of where this image is, and it doesn't have to be on our system, our computer, our server, anywhere. It could be anywhere. For example, I found this picture right here. And what I could do is I can right click, copy image URL, not downloading the image at all. Then when I go over to here, I just pasted, just Control V, pasted that, and it says here's where that image is. Now they obviously have a folder on their server called images, and under there they have an O1, and then under there they actually have this. So let's see what that looks like. I save that and refresh, and here's that image. Now, what they have going on here is they've sized it, and it looks like a little skewed, but here's the full image here. So that's something else you can do. Now you're going to be given a homework assignment, and the homework assignment is to download Netbeans. It's a better editor. It's free. There's color coding, hints, and we can even build projects, which is a really nice thing to do. Well, here's the Netbeans download site. We really only need this version here, which does HTML5 and PHP. But you can go ahead and download the other one here that has everything. You might want to do that. This is what Netbeans looks like, and here's what our program looks like in Netbeans. It's nice because it's got, here's commands highlighted in blue. We've got parameters highlighted in green. And watch here, if I would have gone like this, W-R, it says, I don't know what this is that you're trying to do here. And if I hover over it, you can see it's telling me I don't understand source. Maybe you're looking for one of these here, which is SORSC. So it's nice that it gives you those hints there. You can just copy that, and now we've got the right image. So your goal is to download Netbeans and open up your file in Netbeans and look at it here. That's your homework assignment for this week.